In this lecture, we're going to learn how to verify if a variable is reactive. The composition API is meant for very large components. Somewhere along the line, it's possible to run into errors. An error because a variable is no longer reactive. If we lose reactivity, our application may not behave as users may expect. U provides two functions for verifying if a variable is reactive. They can be useful in debugging an application. Let's look at both of them. Currently, I'm in the first project we were working with when learning about the composition API. Specifically, I have the numbers.js file opened. The View package has two functions called isRef and isReactive. Let's include both of them with the import statement. The isRef function can be used for checking if a variable is reactive that was created with the ref function, whereas the isReactive function will check if a variable is reactive that was created with the reactive function. We're going to update the import statement to include the reactive function because we'll need to create a variable with this function for demonstration purposes. Next, in the setup function, we'll quickly create an object called accounts. This object will be created with the reactive function we imported. It'll have two properties called checking and savings with random values. The reason we're creating this object is because we want to be able to test the isReactive function. Our numbers hook function didn't have any reactive variables. After creating the accounts variable, we'll perform a log to the console. The log will output the return value by the isRef function. We'll pass in the num variable to the isRef function. We'll create another log, but this time we'll log the return value by the isReactive function with the accounts variable. Both logs should output true since both variables are reactive. We didn't change them, so they shouldn't have lost their reactivity. Let's refresh the page in the browser with the console opened. Both functions are returning true. This means our variables are reactive. Vue provides both functions for testing if our code is reactive. It's useful for debugging an application. If you were to override a reactive variable completely, you will lose that reactivity. That may happen since we're not using the Options API, where we may accidentally lose reactivity. Other than that, these two functions don't have much use. That wraps it up for these two functions. I'll see you in the next one.